you seem to be capturing them many times without them being ready for you guys. Is that kind of the game plan?
I think it's the game plan that we are managing to win the rounds now, but it's a different map, so we are going to talk a little bit more now and see what's gonna happen.
Pain truly living up to their name on Nuke. That was a commanding victory over Na'Vi, who picked the map into this series, and now it's an opportunity for them to reset, because I would argue, Maui, that Mirage, which is the third and final decider, that was the bread and butter of Na'Vi throughout basically the entirety of 2024.
And that's what's incredibly scary if you're Pain here, because you're moving into this with momentum. Rick's talked about how they know they just had a couple mess ups there on Dust 2, and you're on the precipice of taking down one of the elite teams of 2024, and you are practically a new roster. You are a team that is just beginning to gel, finding out how to slot in Davideus, how Big Uzera is going to slot into a B anchor on this map, and you have a chance to take down one of the big dogs. Like, this could set your season up for a completely different trajectory than you would have imagined, because I don't think many people thought that Pain coming into this were going to be a top 8 team in the world, but well, they made it through the online portion, and they have a chance to do even better.
First game Elysian, then FaZe, and now potentially Na'Vi as well. That would be one hell of a run for Pain Gaming getting into those semifinals. I just want to note as well that I absolutely love the authority that Blade is speaking with in that little huddle outside.
Yes.
You could see that every single player was listening to him. You could see that he was trying to animate the conversation. It's a guy that, I know we speak about it often because we speak about Na'Vi often, but fact of the matter is that Alexi B and him, they're working closely together, and sometimes I even feel that when they're not on the server, it's more Blade's team than it's Alexi B teams. And people may think at home, yeah, Jacob, I know that, but that's not quite how it is on most teams out there. It will always be the in-game leader trying to take charge of things. I do feel like we have a coach here that speaks with the uttermost authority, and it's a big part of the responsibility on Blade's shoulders to make sure that Na'Vi now coming in on Mirage, playing good counters like we used to see.
Na'Vi won the knife, which will mean they get to choose their side. They've gone for the CT side. Maui, what should we expect?
Well, obviously that means Big Uzera and Co are going to be starting on the offense, and what was really exciting about them on Dust 2, I found similarly quite stimulating for their Mirage. When they played against Gamer Legion, the times when they wouldn't throw a smoke, wouldn't throw a flash, they'd go for a dry peek with an interesting timing. It caught Gamer Legion off guard a couple times. Like, the dynamic duo of Davideus and Big Uzera in middle, it's exactly what you want to see. No one's playing second fiddle to the other. They're both calling their own number in a nice unified duo of entry fragging.
If I want to give the viewers one thing to look out for in this game, it's the slow T side as well that Pain Gaming have been practicing, and I think Na'Vi have one trick up their sleeve in terms of disrupting that. We know Na'Vi to be a team that loves to take mid control late in the round, so this re-aggression in middle coming from the CT side of Na'Vi facing the slow T side of Pain Gaming, I think that's going to be a duel in itself that we need to look out for.
Well, it all comes down to Mirage to decide who goes through to the Blast Bounty semifinals.
Thank you, experts. I think Jacob did a great job of setting up some mid-play throughout this third deciding map, Mohan. Only one team can go on in the quarterfinals of Day 2 of the LAN portion of the first ever Blast Bounty.
So overall, how do you feel about Na'Vi right now?
Overall, I feel pretty good. I think Na'Vi end up bouncing back from Nuke and still finish off this series.
Okay. I think the T-sides that we saw from Pain, they were slow. There were a lot of pauses in the plays. I think there were some gaps created for Na'Vi to capitalize on, but so far we've seen that consistently, and yet Na'Vi are still losing. Pain are more clutch in the late rounds. Pain have better performing players on average. Alexi's kind of having a nightmare series. I don't know how else to put it. He's like 13 and 30 something for the entire 2 maps so far, so his kills are going to be key. And yeah, there's just not a lot of players online right now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I don't think Alexi's having a lot of fun tonight. I don't think that's the word I'd describe it. And, you know, our jobs are always fun, but not every job is always fun. And I feel like Alexi B is experiencing that right here, right now. For his sake, let's hope there's an uptick, because for Na'Vi's sake, you'd think they could bank on that. Obviously, Bit absolutely smashed Imperial Female when it came to their opening game of the year.
Yeah, why do you do that?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Sorry, sorry ဆိုတာမဟုတ်ဟိုကမီးသွားချိန်နေဆိုပြီးတော့ကွာမီးကိုပတ်နေချိန်တာ Wi-Fi လုံးဝမကြဘူးဆရာကြီးဘယ်လိုကြာသွားလဲ Wi-Fi မကြဘဲနဲ့ UPS မကြသွားလား
He's had some like silly moments like it's not just whips
အဲ့တော့မို့သူ live ပိတ်သွားတာကိုကမသိဘူးအဲ့ဒါနောက်ပြီးမှဘာညာမို့သူကတီအန်လေးပါလေးပါကြိတ်နေအပိုင်းလေးစားတယ်ဗောမျိုးလုံးတစ်ချက်
Jail's got back to the site.
ပြန်လာမှတွေ့တယ်
That's a big one right through the middle. Big Zero is also going to
Pero
take this
dime,
run,
sorry
get
ba,
it to
tama
B,
mea.
but, whoa, what are they doing? The rest of the team is going towards the A site. That pulls Imma back into spawn. This allows them to get the plant now.
No way.
What is Big Zero doing here? He's just playing
လေးလိုကောင်ထုတ်ပြီးတော့ဂျူနီယာတဲ့ကောင်ကတော့မပြောနဲ့လေဒီလိုလေးပြန်ထားကြည့်တာโอเคပါမကြိုက်လဲကိုမှတ်တယ်အော်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီမှာသိနေလေနာဗီကိုကျွန်တော်နည်းနည်းလေးဟိုပါပေါ့ကျွန်တော်ကိုတော့ over လေးပဲနည်းနည်းကြိုက်တယ်သူကိုတင်လေးပြစ်မယ်ပေါ့တော့ပဲအရင်အန်တာမျိုးတော့ခုနမျိုးတော့ဖြစ်တော့ဗျ
Oh my gosh.
And he's not going to stop. Big Zero 2 kills into the pistol at this point. A retake demanded of Na'Vi with a little health on bit. No kit for the retake to come through. And no real avenue either to get the ball rolling. Bomb beyond the halfway point. Bit just trying to crawl up on jungle. Bonders, oh my god.
Dude,
they got owned.
You know, I think the call comes because immediately when he gets spotted, he says, okay, let's not go B. Because he knows he's in a position where he's likely going to die. But if you're Na'Vi, you have to respect the fact that he's taking over market control behind you. There's really no good counterplay. If you're going to come back and hold the A site and pretend like no one had just snuck into the back lines over on the other side of the map.
ပိန်ရနာဗီကိုရိုက်ခွဲသွားလို့တော့အပေါ်မှာ8နဲ့5နဲ့ပိန်နဲ့อ่ะရွေးရမှာ separate နဲ့ G2 နဲ့ကိုရွေး round 5နဲ့မှာ separate G2
And now Pain win another pistol, starting off
ဘ
hot.
လို့မိုးဆို
With the only kill last round for Na'Vi.
Man, Alexi, I don't think your night's going to get any better here in the second round of map 3. Absolutely getting gunned down by a stampede of Pain players as he tries to come through the smoke and gets blasted into tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean round 3, where hopefully for Na'Vi all these guns can get to. Everybody already transitioning into the save call. Easy one for Big Zero to say, let's slam B.
So we lost FaZe, lost Liquid, lost Falcons, lost Vitality. We're talking about LAN now, by the way.
I've got to say, like, of all the favorites, you know, all the top 5 of the last year, after the first round of games, I didn't think G2 was going to be one of the last ones standing.
Yeah, true. That's actually so funny.
Of course, still plenty of
Webbing
runway for
ရွေးတာပါ
Na'Vi
တန်းလာ
as
မှာ
well,
လား
but
ဗျာ
there's obviously a
Webbingရွေးတာပါတန်းလာ
continuation
မယ်
of the success from Pain
အဲ့ဒါကို
between
ဟိုတ
each
ကြည့်တာ
and every one of
တော့
these maps, you know. I think what bodes well best for Pain is when we go back to Dust 2 and we see how they irked out that first map win, this is just this phenomenal map coming through from Ime and coming through from Wonderful. But you know who's remained the most consistent star of this series? It's Snow.
Snow, yeah.
Snow has been the best player of the 10 standing in the server, and I think he's earned the belief that it's going to happen again on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean,
China
last
raro,
time he
but
had
dude,
the Cowboys
Juida.
beside him in the first game. I mean, Davideus has also had a like good performance. It doesn't match up to like his outstanding star performances in the last 2 series, Gamer Legion and FaZe, but still really good.
လို့မျိုးချိန်ရလို့မျိုးပြောပြတာ
Snow playing his positions perfectly.
ဒါပေမဲ့ကျွန်တော် season 1 မို့လို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကဘာတွေမှမသိလိုက်တာဗျာ season 2လောက်ကြာရင်တော့ no ကြည်ပါပဲဒီကောင်တွေဒီ web တန်းရွေးမာတွေဒီကျွန်တော်တော့အိတ်မလာခင်တရက်က live အနေနဲ့ရွေးတာမျိုးတွေပေါ့နော်တပြက်လေး full price ဆော့တက်တာလည်းမဟုတ်ပဲမင်းစောင့်ကြည့်မရှိတော့ full price ကြောင်ရေဒီကိုနေဆွဲပါမယ်ဆိုမှအသေးကိုလုံးခံနေရနေတာဖြစ်နေဒီမှာ eco ထက်ဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဆိုတော့ have ဘိုင်းနဲ့ပေါ်လာတယ်
Na'Vi back into the save. Blink and you will miss it.
They could have let that get out of hand, but man, even Big Zero coming up, Cat, everything there was.
ဒီတိုင်းပဲဗျတိတ်ထွေထူးတော့မရှိနောက်တော့ current ကြောင်းကြမှာပဲကြည်ရတော့မလား
So overall, very good
current
stuff
ကြောင်းမှာ
here
ပဲ
from
ကြည်ရ
Pain.
မယ်
You know, I think the calls have been good from Big Zero throughout the series, but what I think
The flashes too.
a little bit of X factor that he loves to sprinkle in is the beauty of Big Zero on Pain, I feel, is like in their biggest moments, when the pressure's at its highest, right? When they really have a chance to seize the day, that's when sometimes you'll watch Big Zero just dominate a server.
Yeah.
And this is one of those maps, in one of those moments at the very start of the year where he could do that as well. So him being 4-0 could be a great sign of things to come.
You brought this up on this iteration of the last